USC started its day as a fringe top 10 team in terms of the recruiting rankings on National Signing Day, but quickly rising up the charts. 24/7 currently has Clay Helton's bunch for 2017 at number 6, and still some possible gets late in the afternoon. We bring in Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles to break down what might be, but definitely we'll talk about what is and who's on the dotted line right now, because it's quite impressive.
Yeah, it's been a great morning. Well, really a great week for USC. Austin Jackson, the 4-star rated offensive tackle, picked USC this morning, sent his letter in. He's out of Phoenix, really talented kid. Levi Jones, I think by now everyone's seen his little maneuver with the shirts, in which he took off or showed a Florida shirt and then took it off and showed a Florida State shirt, and then it revealed that he's going to USC. He's a 4-star kid, outside linebacker, super talented. In USC's defensive scheme with Clancy Pendergast, they run a 5-2. They always need elite tight ends, no matter what the situation is. A lot of them, they haven't really lost any big flips. Everybody who verbally committed, for the most part, has sent their letter in, except for one notable player, Stephen Carr, elite running back who's been committed to USC for just about ever. Still has not sent his letter of intent into USC, and it's now getting to be noon on the Pacific Coast, and nobody has reported on him or heard from him. And so we're all waiting to see what's going on. I think a lot of folks are starting to wonder, maybe someone else is talking to him. Maybe he's thinking about flipping all of a sudden. And he was supposed to be the highlight of this class coming in. But until we get that letter in, it's tough to say. But overall, this has already been a great class. We've also forget we had Jack Sears, the 4-star quarterback who enrolled early. He's already on campus. Marlon Tuipulotu, another 4-star guy, flipped from Washington, verbally committed to USC, and then enrolled all within the span of like a couple of days. So he's actually on campus right now. So a couple of 4-stars already in the fold. Like Bubba Bolden, another great safety who committed, decommitted, recommitted. He is signed. He was actually one of the first ones in, and if anyone was going to flip, you'd think it'd be that guy. But he's in. 4-star defensive end Hunter Eccles. He might get moved to linebacker as well. He's in the fold. Isaiah Polamau, who another great safety. This is a loaded defensive backs class for USC, but Polamau, his uncle is a little bit more recognizable right now, because his uncle is Troy Polamalu, the USC and Pittsburgh Steelers legend. So another great member of that family coming to USC already. A lot of the 3-star guys, your Peeleys, your Lichtensteins, your Kromenhoek, which just sounds strong, like a strong name. They've all signed. We're not really waiting for too many more announcements. Terrence Lang is another guy who verbally committed. I believe, yeah, he did verbally commit, but has not sent his letter in. Stephen Carr, verbally commit, has not sent his letter in. So we're really just waiting on Greg Johnson and Joseph Lewis, who are both scheduled anyway, and these changes pretty frequently. Lewis and Johnson both scheduled to make their announcements in about an hour. So we're waiting to see on that. But overall, this has been a great class. A lot of people were getting worried coming in to today, because they didn't know. USC had a lot of verbal commits from 3-stars and a handful of 4-stars, but they got a couple of flips. They didn't really lose too many of their targets either so far. They've lost Aubrey Solomon, who ended up going to Michigan, and I believe they also lost somebody else. Kinlaw, I believe, ended up going to the Gamecocks. And so, yeah, so those are the two real big targets that had narrowed down to USC that the Trojans didn't get. But Other than that, they've got just about everyone they've gone after. But I think the Stephen Carr thing is, the later this goes, is going to start to concern more and more people.
Yeah, maybe Kinlaw just got his USC's confused. Maybe that was the issue with him. But with Stephen Carr, you mentioned, Nick, that it seemed like forever ago that he made his commitment. It was actually March 23rd of 2015.
Wow.
2 years ago that he made his verbal commitment, and he has stayed with it for this entire period of time. Top 3 in the state, regardless of position, top 3 running back in the country, top 20 overall player, regardless of position. So you're talking heavy elite hitter. Stephen Carr, I think I'm not going to guess what a 18-year-old kid's going to do, so I don't want to make USC fans either mad or upset or worried or overly confident if that's the case, if there's something running through his mind at the last minute. It's a difficult decision. It's something that's has to be the most difficult and biggest decision of a person's life to date. So for these guys to do it on the big stage is something that we can't necessarily relate to. So that's the issue right now with one Stephen Carr. All right, Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles breaking down the USC class with a few more out there for Clay Helton to chase. But regardless, it's a great class securely in the nation's top 10.